All right, guys, before the break, we showed you a little bit of what went down at the Xbox press conference. They showed us Halo 5. Not a whole lot new there. A lot of campaign being shown off.
Yeah.
New multiplayer, 24 players versus AI as well. And then Recore, a new single-player game. None of that had me excited in the first half hour. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
But this announcement got me so jacked. We have it here. Xbox announcing today that the Xbox One will become backward compatible. I was told by everyone on Twitter, don't worry, it's not coming until holiday season. But look at some of the games that are listed there. Perfect Dark, still being able to play it. You got Super Meat Boy. A lot of the old, it's kind of awesome because it's a mix of Microsoft Studio games, but also some of the stuff you found on the Xbox Live Arcade. Now, the one I'm most pumped about is 4 back in the far right. Shadowrun was the best competitive first-person shooter game I owned on my Xbox 360. It came out the same year as Halo 3. Halo 3 got all the marketing budget. Shadowrun died before it even had a chance to breathe. But I'm throwing a throwback tournament for this game.
Chris is bringing it back.
I'm going to be one of 3 teams competing in it.
You don't understand. The Microsoft conference is still going on. Everyone's getting hyped. We're all kind of like, being vocal. And then everyone kind of turns around. We look at Puckett, and he's like, YouTube.com, looking for old Shadowrun gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, what are you doing? He's like, I'm so hyped.
One thing I do want to point out is if we could possibly bring back up that graphic, the bottom lines of text where they talk about what is going to happen with this program are extremely key. The first thing I saw where people were going through the landing page where they were talking about, here's the list that you can see of games you can wind up playing of backwards compatibility right now that will be wind up being available. Look at the bottom, because it didn't mention any Call of Duty games or Halo stuff. Up a little bit more. Up a little bit more. Right there. Good stop. And you can see no additional cost, with over 100 titles slated for this fall, hundreds more added every month. Xbox One is now the best place to play your Xbox 360 games. That's a big step and statement from Xbox. It shows, hey, you love your games on the 360, come on over to the One now. You can play them as long as you have the disc.
So the cool you don't need the disc. That's exactly what I was going to say. Xbox One backward compatibility works with disc-based and digital games. So if you spent loads of money digitally on your Xbox 360, you can still play those games. Hopefully,
that wasn't as big yet, so I think it's still most people will still be utilizing the disc aspect, but a lot to be looking forward to in that regard. Hopefully, they mentioned all they need is for the publisher to give them the okay to let it happen. Once they do that, it will work. Excited to see, and Chris is already a Shadowrun game.
Do we see Black Ops 2 come back?
Black Ops 2, if Black Ops 3 isn't massive, I could see a lot of people playing Black Ops 2 again, but I think Black Ops 3, if it's not coming out till holiday season, Black Ops 3 has the huge leg up.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you got to look at games that don't have another title coming back.
I guess.
This is going to die as soon as it's going to be reborn, but I just wanted to show you guys a quick sample of
why
some
do you say
Shadowrun
this is the
gameplay.
most competitive?
So, first of all, you're looking at a class-based game. This is the elf you're watching. He's the fastest, has the lowest amount of health. Yeah, you have
an elf.
You have humans, you have trolls, which are huge dudes who get stronger the more you shoot them.
Stronger the more you shoot them.
And then the last one is a dwarf, which was not very competitively balanced, but he's basically kryptonite for all 3 of the other creatures.
Oh, wow.
So the elf, almost dead here, hanging out next to a tree. That's going to give him some extra life. Tree of life, only way to get your life back, unless you're an elf who regenerates really slowly. Now you see on the far left, these are his energy pips. Because he has very little life, he has a whole lot of magic. And you can see he's able to teleport and everything else around. That was the biggest game changer right there, though. The ability to teleport in any direction about 10 feet. You can go through floors, you can go through ceilings, jump diagonally through walls.
That's pretty cool.
And it changed the whole dynamic. Also, you can be resurrected up to 1 time after you've been killed. So you can see the elf now has 4 pips. That's someone that he brought back to life, but he can no longer use magic in those. It's already been accounted for. So it was basically just an amazing game with so much depth, and on top of it, it also had a Counter-Strike-like economy system, which you would decide. Do you buy guns with it? Do you buy ammo for your guns?
Every time
do you buy every single time you buy something like teleport, you keep that through the remainder of the game.
But when do you buy that, though?
You buy it at the start of each round. So if I have a big pistol round, I'm going to go ahead and splurge on teleport, which is a massive advantage early on in the game.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to buy a tree of life so my whole team can heal up while the enemies can't. This game had so much potential, and I was so bummed when we had to kind of stop it going into 2008. But Walshy, Ogre 2, back when they were dominating Halo, they were winning this game the same week, and they actually preferred to play this over Halo at the time.
Wow.
Just didn't have the prize pool, man. Anyway, that's what got me most pumped for the throwback. Is there any other game other than maybe Black Ops 2 that you would actually spend time on? No.
I'll play. I would say Fallout.
Yeah.
But there's no need to do that anymore.
MW2.
Yeah, maybe MW2. I could see like really throwback on the COD franchise. But I feel like Call of Duty would basically say which is going to be the most successful. Probably Black Ops 2.
Yeah. MW2 COD 4 is the one I was thinking a lot of people would get pumped for. Also, I think I would love to see what's coming out of the Xbox Live Arcade. Is Castle Crashers going to be available on there?
Legendary game.
What are you downloading?
Oh, yeah.
Guys in chat, let me know what you would be playing, knowing that all of 360 games available, or at least a lot of them, will be coming back to us in the holiday
season. Maybe some of the old Need for Speeds.
Possibly.
That could be pretty fun.
Honestly, there's such a large...
There really is.
A large
about that. How long the Xbox 360 was around for. That's a lot of games.
So that was a look at the old school stuff, but they also came out with some new news, and this one is direct competitor to one of the biggest selling controller shops out on the market right now. Yeah. Xbox is saying, you don't need your SCUF, we're going to give you one from us.
Yeah, and
this is ridiculous.
You can see they kind of hit on every single point of a controller that you would love to see upgraded in some way. The paddles on the back, the hair trigger stops, the remappable buttons, and
remap your
everything.
Like it's crazy. Your thumbsticks you can take out and put back in.
And you know
is there too much going on though there?
No, absolutely not.
No?
You have two fingers that rest there naturally. You have your index finger, or sorry, your middle finger, and then also your ring finger. Yeah. So you have 4 triggers for that.
You have 4 fingers which rest that naturally?
Yeah, I do.
Your bottom 2 are right down there.
So yeah, I only have 2.
Yeah, but if you have 2 hands, that's 4. So 2 fingers
I only
on your
have
left
2
hand.
No, I only have. I don't hold the controller like that.
You don't hold your controller like that?
No, because if you look at where the paddles are actually located, I don't think that's gonna.
Yeah, I only use my index finger up top. I don't put a index finger on the bumper and then a middle finger on the trigger.
I don't use like claw.
That's how I hold my controller.
Right, which means that you have to.
No, because my middle fingers, my index fingers aren't going to be. Wait, the controller's going to be what?
$150 says the control room.
I don't know how that's. I don't know how the control room knows it.
First and foremost, we should just say everyone at Microsoft obviously took note of the controller phenomenon.
They just announced it.
They just announced that. Okay, so
150?
150 for the Elite controller for Elite gamers.
I mean,
that's a lot.
You think about it, and when you're buying a SCUF, you're up there just as much.
Right.
So I mean, if you're looking to get a controller, if this one winds up coming out and being very successful,
so the big thing, the big thing for me is when you look at that Elite controller, and this people may agree, may disagree. The big thing is the thumbsticks. I absolutely despise the Xbox One default thumbsticks. They are so small, they hurt your thumbs when you play for a long period of time. For me, unless they come out with kind of like the domed or even just bigger, I'm still going to be using a SCUF controller.
All right.
Just because look at the size of those.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is the canceling out of SCUFs. I'm just saying that Microsoft has taken notice of how much they've been able to succeed in sales and are going to now. I mean, it's first party. It is what is now going to be available in Best Buys everywhere now.
Everywhere. Literally
I absolutely think that SCUF will still have more than a market on the Xbox console, no matter what, for customization, for people who are in the competitive scene and want to support their favorite players. There's the Wiz SCUF. I mean, just examples of random.
That was the worst example.
It sold one, and then that was it.
Mentioning other types of.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Wiz's mom that bought that one.
It's okay, Jack.
Mentioning other types of personalities who had a SCUF in some way. So stuff that Xbox won't be able to manage.
The other side is also SCUF PlayStation. Always going to be selling there.
But this is what's interesting. Okay, because SCUF normally take the default controller and then they change it. I wonder, could they take the Elite controller that we just saw and maybe alternate
soup that up even more?
That's a whole new cost.
Hey, man, that's not my business. I'll have to consult those who are part of it. But good points there. Let's keep the show rolling, though, through Xbox. The next big game that was discussed was Fallout 4.
Yeah, this was kind of, a lot of people were looking forward to.
Yes.
They had the whole Ubisoft conference.
Bethesda
last night where this was really shown up for over 30 minutes. But they came out on stage and said, hey, some big news for Xbox fans, Ben. What they'll ever want to know.
I'm so excited. Not only when you get Fallout 4, first of all, you get Fallout 3 as well, which you've never played.
I've never touched it. I don't play single-player games.
So I'm exactly the same. This was the one game where I could not put it down. Like from a single player, I just couldn't stop playing it.
Really?
I had to. Like I would get home, I'd be like, all right, I need to play Fallout. Like I need to.
Yeah.
Like the storyline is so compelling that you really feel like you're actually like.
Did you play Mass Effect?
Not that much.
Okay, so I didn't play it. I was wondering if you could compare the two, because those are kind of the two big franchises that everyone I talk to brings up.
The big thing as well here is mods. We talk about that a lot with PC games. Apparently, they're transferring out to Xbox One, which is
PC mods coming to Xbox One,
which is crazy because you could mod Fallout
the power of Windows,
like a lot.
First thing people were mentioning in regards to that will be how in depth will mods be.
Right.
People were first saying like, okay, yeah, you can see some different mods to like change how some people look and things along those lines, but like full-on texture mods. They're not sure if that'll be able to be
Has
utilized.
this been attempted by anyone in the past? Like, has anyone ever claimed, oh, we're doing PC mods to console?
Hacking.
The funny thing is like Minecraft had some of the like texture mods, but they just now got released as packs that you can play on the Xbox One that aren't really in depth as some would expect a mod in a game like this to be.
Yeah.
Something to look out for. And then the other question is, will PS4 have that ability at all, or is it just completely exclusive to Xbox, or will it be a timed exclusive? You'll have to find out about that one. That was Fallout 4. Then EA wound up coming out, and Peter Moore, one of their head folks out there, they announced all of the EA Access announcements. The big one, though, free for, it starts today, free, right? Where you can go and test out all the different games.
Right now.
Yeah, like we're gonna
do it. You can do it like immediately right now.
We're gonna get into that.
Titanfall and Dragon Age Inquisition going to the EA vault. What's that mean?
Dragon Age, excited. Titanfall, couldn't care less.
Basically,
wow, they've burnt you that bad.
It was an awful game. I remember we did the midnight launch. We played it for like 24 hours.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then how much did you play when you? Yeah, exactly.
I burned out after 10 hours real quick.
It was very.
Last Titan standing though had chance for competitive life.
It did. That was the only game mode. Besides that, it was awful.
And one thing to point out with this is, in regards to if people are wondering what the EA Vault is, pay per month.
It's like $5. I think it's minuscule
really
amount.
And you can download all the different games on their EA Vault. Get to try them out. You also get 10% off other EA games.
So it's like Madden, FIFAs, NHLs.
Like right away, as long as you're involved in it, which will obviously save you some money. Basically, by saving that money, you pay for your own subscription, if that makes any sense. So the $7 you save.
So is it $60 a year? Do I buy a yearly membership, or is it month by month charge?
It's $5 a month.
Yeah.
And every single game that you buy from EA, you get 10% off. So if you're a big sports fan, and you already know going into the year, I'm gonna buy FIFA, I'm gonna buy Madden. Like you basically pay for yourself. Which is what Jaguar
a big thing to point out is that not every game is immediately involved in the EA Vault. So that's why you were mentioning how exactly does that work. They're now adding Titanfall and Dragon Age Inquisition. So when you pay those $5, these are now options that you can download and begin to play. I think it might even be in full. Like
so right now, there's like everything inside that vault is free to play. I think he said for a week.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was like a week.
To test it out.
You can basically just go play any of your favorite EA games for free.
Boom.
Another big thing from EA too was Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Yes! I love that game. It's so stupid, but it's just so fun. It's like Splatoon is basically what it is.
And they mentioned how over the top the first one is. They said, well, guess what? You haven't seen anything yet. Number 2 is going to be even more fun and ridiculous.
All right. Forza was shown right after Plants vs. Zombies, Forza 6. Basically, we talked about it. Forza was Microsoft's answer to the Gran Turismo series. And Ben, you were saying this is your favorite racing franchise of all time.
In terms of your realistic racing franchise, without a doubt, nothing touches Forza. In terms of your crazy, I love my Need for Speeds, modding out your car, making it look cool. But this is just so good. Everything about it, you feel like you're actually racing around the tracks. Graphically, the games are always insane.
Yeah.
And it just has that kind of actual racing feel. If you have one of the, like the steering wheels and the pedal setup that you can get, it's like nothing else. And what was really cool is they lowered a Ford GT down from the ceiling into the theater.
Pretty sick.
That's a way that you make a stand if you're Ford. You're basically like, hey, check this out.
They also showed off the Forza Horizons car the last time they did it, because Forza not only has their more generic racing series, they have also their Forza Horizon series, and we've said it time and time again, a lot of people think that Forza Horizons 2 for the Xbox One is the best Xbox One game since its release. Love playing the Forza Horizon series. Not
it's really
too big into the motorsport where it's more strictly racing. but I can see why it has such a big audience.
I think it's September the 15th.
I was trying to look up and see how big is Forza really. Like, how does it sell compared to other Xbox titles?
What was crazy was when Forza, the original, when the Xbox One came out, and they had the trailers going like way back. They had one of the Formula One Grand Prix like commentators like over it, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute, is this going to be like a competitive game? Are we finally going to see a competitive racing game?" Because when you think about it, I haven't really seen any competitive racing games come and make an actual stand, and it's one of those games which really do require a large amount of skill.
Yeah.
Especially to race perfectly.
I want to see this game do it.
You want to see it?
I want to see it, man. Imagine that. Like, you go to have like mini booths like at StarCraft, and they have like a full-on racing setup, like steering wheel pedals, like.
That'd be nuts.
That you can't tell me that wouldn't be cool. That would be so good.
I don't know how fun it'd be to watch, but definitely play.
All right, we'll add some rockets to the cars. We'll make it like a death race kind of thing.
Now we're just.
As soon as you make a Mario Kart, I'm down.
Yeah. Competitive Mario Kart, let's do it.
All right, moving on from Forza. Jack, what was next?
We then saw Dark Souls 3. They just quickly. Nothing too overwhelmingly crazy. Just kind of a typical trailer that you'd see.
Yeah. That was the big announcement. So you still aren't getting the game this year.
Is it like, I feel with the way this game has been delayed, it wouldn't surprise me if that got pushed back as well.
And maybe it should. If they're going to pull off everything they're saying they can through those trailers, I want you to take as much time as you need.
But how confident does that make you as someone who's going to buy the game? Knowing that it's been delayed twice already and pushed back? At first, it gets pushed back once, you're like, okay, that's a good thing because they're taking more time to work on the game. I know when I buy it, it's going to be good. Pushed back twice, that's kind of like, all right, well, what are they trying to do here? Like, why is it being delayed?
And it goes back to Ubisoft's recent track record. A lot of people were not too happy with how Watch Dogs came out. It's already going on sale.
You hated that game. I love that game.
See, I thought Watch Dogs was good. Critically reviewed, it took a lot of hits, man.
It actually, like, honestly, that's not just the way it is. They really hyped it up a lot to a point where when you look at these trailers and this gameplay, it looks absolutely incredible, looks beautiful. That they did the same thing for Watch Dogs. When that game came out, it was not the same level.
Same thing happened with the last Assassin's Creed too. Very similar. Everyone was like, "Oh,
this
Assassin's
game needs
Creed,"
to be
whereas it kind of came out, and everyone was like, "Eh."
Yeah. Speaking of Ubisoft, they also showed off Rainbow Six Siege. Yes. This is a game that we hope to hear a little bit later from Ubisoft on, and of course, Gigantic was seen once again. This Gigantic revealed. We have the trailer for you guys. It looks like Battleborn, Overwatch, a little bit of cell shading here. Motiga.
It sounds like it actually could have been the voice for it.
It could have been. It could have been. Now, this is a very weird game. I believe it's a Windows 10 and Xbox One.
Aladdin the Hawk, and Iago was replaced by a mouse rat cat thing.
A mouse rat cat thing.
Yes, I could not decide what animal this is. What would you describe that as?
A mouse rat cat thing.
Yes.
A ferret? Really? What's a ferret?
A hairless ferret.
Honestly, it could be. You never know. So, they showed off the different heroes you could play. Don't know how much you looked into or heard about the competitive, not competitive, multiplayer is more of a co-op RPG. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think we'll see, like, matches between these two squads. Another thing to point out is I love massive scale things better. We were talking about that. The Guardians in this look absolutely awesome. They look like they're really going to be something that can change the tide of battle. You'll see they go up to fight a boss here in just a little bit, and the Guardian just out the ground is pretty sweet.
I don't know how I feel about this game.
I mean, I don't know if it's made for competitive, like we both enjoy competitive games a lot more. I don't know if that is something that appeals to us right away, but this part is still cool no matter what.
Flying bird.
Unleash your Guardian watch, it's like co-op.
Come with me.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
And the Guardian's like, all right, let's fight, let's 1v1, and then he's got the rest of his squad behind him.
Let's 1v1.
Another beta coming, Windows 10. Beta comes in August for this.
Did they announce when the beta, when Windows 10 is expected to be released on Xbox One?
I didn't catch that. I was in a few meetings today, jumping in and out.
One of our big things to look out for was possibly a revamped UI for the Xbox One, and I didn't hear mention of it. Also, not a single mention of Kinect either.
I went back to using the 360, and it is so much faster, so much easier to get in and out of lobbies, to get your friends in there.
Yeah.
I look back at it, and I'm like, honestly, one of the reasons I stopped streaming COD was it was so difficult to get eights parties or eights lobbies.
It's a pain in the ass.
So I sure hope they can revamp it soon. With all these games coming out, I have a feeling I'm going to be on my Xbox One a lot more.
I feel like they have to, though. Like, it's probably the biggest complaint from an Xbox user is like, hey, the interface sucks.
Yeah. Like, yo, you used to be a lot faster than PlayStation. Now, PlayStation, a little bit faster quicker than you're moving. It's great I can watch my Netflix and NFL on here and all, but
it's only going to take you so far. Only going to get you so far.
All right, so that was a look at Gigantic revealed. The other portion of this conference was super exciting for me. I love indie games, and there was a massive announcement with all of the indie game lineups that are set to be released. Some over 1,000 independent developers they mentioned, and some of the big ones. Tacoma is coming out with ID at Xbox.
Yeah, I think, was that you that mentioned you've seen this game before?
Yeah, I'd seen a really brief, really brief kind of trailer of it, and it was a game which kind of struck me as this could potentially be kind of fun.
Yeah.
We have the trailer as well that we can throw up for you guys, but it's such a different kind of game because in terms of video games that I personally really like, I like really vastly competitive multiplayer, and I like those kind of compelling single players which have those twists and you have to really think about. And you know, this, you can already see, you're basically in space. And single player, by yourself, you have to
I don't like being by myself in space.
See, but that immediately kind of gives you that vibe of, okay, what the hell is going to be going on?
Yeah.
Like, what is the storyline here? Like, am I trying to get off this spacecraft? Am I trying to, figure out what happened to the spacecraft?
I'm going to the lander.
It looks, honestly, I think badass.
Tacoma.
They showed off. This area of the conference is at least 20, 30 minutes of just showing off different indie games. Then they went into the whole preview program, which we'll talk about in just a little bit here. But Xbox showing a lot of love towards indie. I think it's something they have to do because we spoke about PlayStation 4 and their big announcements of No Man's Sky, which was the indie game that has now kind of taken everything by storm. When they showed off tonight, expect a lot of hype around that game from the indie genre. Going to be up to Xbox to pull some big ones out here. They had Tacoma, Ashen, Beyond Eyes, Cuphead were the big four they showed today.
Dude, I want to see the Cuphead trailer because the Cuphead trailer
was
so sick.
This is what I'm gaming.
I don't know why, but it reminded me so much of Popeye.
I mean, I think the art style
it was like identical. Like you see the animations, and it was like, yo, this could be Popeye. This could genuinely be Popeye.
All right, here's a look at Cuphead. If you guys missed it earlier from the Microsoft press conference.
First of all, badass name,
Cuphead.
Second of all, badass trailer.
Oh yeah. See, even this is Popeye.
Gambled with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh no! You see him gambling with the devil, and he loses.
So you're basically a Cuphead doing the devil's bidding, or you lose. You fill yourself with alcohol.
I mean, we don't know that's alcohol.
That's XXX.
It could be milkshake.
You killed giant. Like I talked about my love for Castle Crashers. I see this all over again.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, look at it. It just looks so fun.
And the question is it more like Contra? Like just with the physics, it doesn't look too 3D. It's more of like you're jumping on specific planes.
Right.
This is cartoon Contra in my world. I'm all about it.
Don't
really
deal with the devil, children.
I think that'll be a very successful indie game, and I think that's the reason why they saved it for the last one of all four, because they knew it was going to get a positive response. But then they wound up going into the Xbox preview program, and the first thing I saw on my timeline was, oh wow, console finally has early access.
Yay.
That's basically what this is.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, you see it all the time with Steam, obviously, and it's nice to see it come across with Xbox. How it's going to work, I'm pretty curious to see if it's successful or not, but I mean, every game basically has a free trial before you jump in and actually purchase it. I mean, there's games, The Long Dark, Sheltered, Elite Dangerous.
DayZ was the big one.
Yeah.
Now,
and it gets to a point where
I'm really excited about that because I love DayZ. I played it a lot, streamed it a lot when it first came out. Then it kind of lost its novelty value. It's still broken. I mean, the game, I'm going to be honest, doesn't work on PC. Is it going to work on Xbox?
Why doesn't it work on PC?
There's so many bugs with the game.
It just... And didn't H1Z1 just replace it?
But even
see, H1Z1 came out and everyone was like, yo, it's a better DayZ, and then all of a sudden
its population completely shot off the face of the earth because of how many hackers there were.
You'd
finally loot all the stuff up, and then out of nowhere, you'd just be killed by someone.
Which was the exact same issue that DayZ had. You would spend hours and hours and hours looting. You want to play the game properly, and then you just get shot in the head by someone in the middle of a wall, and you're like, well, this is.
Does going to console fix this because it's harder to hack?
Personally, I
think it loses a lot too. I think it loses a lot of that kind of like freedom. Like, how big realistically can you make a console server? The same as like DayZ.
24 on 24 with AI characters.
You try playing a DayZ map with 24 people.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any, like, the best moments in those type of games is you'll be just running down the street and you'll be looting, and then all of a sudden, like, you hear gunshots in the distance, and then that's where you immediately go into, I'm going to go kill this fool, and I'm going to take all of his stuff.
Or
the other way around is you're going to leave.
Exactly. or if you don't have anything, it's like, all right, how the hell do I get out of this situation so I don't die? And so I don't think console's going to be able to portray that same kind of level of intensity.
That was the big announcement about DayZ on the Xbox One. There's going to be a trial program for that. But then the creator of DayZ came out, and he announced one of the new big projects they've been working on. This was a trailer that a lot of people saw and immediately said, I am purchasing this one, Ion.
He starts the trailer, though, with one of the weirdest things I've ever heard say. He was like,
I want a game that's not a game. Everyone's like, what?
I want a game.
Oh, but that made sense.
Once again, we're in space.
My cell phone.
Yeah.
Cell phone? It's flown away. Oh, no. Gotta get it. Asteroids. With population. Bear that in mind.
Whoa.
I mean, what do you think this game is going to be like?
I couldn't tell
game that's not a game.
Unlike anything you've ever experienced. You go to space.
EVE Online, maybe?
It just looks crazy. Because this is the thing. DayZ was very, very ambitious when it came out. And just by looking at this, I get the same feel. That they're going to try and do something just ridiculously ambitious. And, I mean, this is the bit which had everyone like, okay, what the hell's going on here?
Is it a body? Yeah.
But then comes to life. Creepy. Weird.
They always tell you don't put a bag over your head. Bad things can happen, man.
Fact.
Life lessons with Chris Bucket.
Don't do it. Don't do it, kids.
No plastic bags.
No bags are a no-no.
Or else you'll find yourself in the game Ion.
Bags.
All right. So that was Ion. Then we watched some ice climbing for about 15 minutes as Lara Croft,
Tomb Raider,
was able to.
Dude, I'm so hyped about Tomb Raider. I can't even explain. It was one of the first games I ever played on the PlayStation 1. I sat there and I was just like.
This is one of the reasons I don't play single-player games. I sat on Tomb Raider for countless hours.
Really?
I found out that there was a bug on my PC, and I was trying to win a level that you could not win because the handle you were supposed to pull never loaded in. So.
All right, that explains your hatred. I now understand the hate because that would drive me insane. He was like, "Where the hell do I go?"
My brother's like, "No, just restart the whole game. It'll load up right on that
12
wall."
hours.
We did it. It's like got through, no time.
Nice.
But yeah, Tomb Raider, definitely not the Angelina Jolie Lara Croft that we saw in the past, but.
I mean, it's funny because if you take a look at the evolution of like Tomb Raider as a character model, it's crazy. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It goes from quite literally like a pixel with like 2 black dots, to now like this amazing like 3D. Like you see, just in the trailer. I think we'll look at the trailer a little bit later on in the show, but the way that the character is reacting to like the wind and like avalanches, just stumbling, it looks absolutely unbelievable. I cannot wait to play that game.
Graphics look awesome.
And it was actual gameplay too. It wasn't one of these fancy, hey, look at this trailer that we put together. It was like you're actually watching someone play the game.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm playing the hell out of that game.
I'm not touching it, but
really,
I will totally wait for your review on it.
I honestly think that's a game which a lot of people will love because we talked about it before. Like Tomb Raider as a franchise is one of the longest living franchises which people always seem to forget about.
Yeah.
It's been around for a very, very long time, and the games just always seem to be getting better.
All right. That was Tomb Raider. We don't have the
I think we have
to look at that now, but we'll take a peek a little bit later. Rare Replay. What is this, Jack?
This was kind of an announcement that a lot of people were also. There were some leaks about it. Is this really going to happen? Well, it wound up coming out. They had one of the heads at Rare come up on stage and show off a beautiful trailer for kind of all the legendary Rare games that we've seen from
James
years
Bond?
ago. Conquer, Perfect Dark.
GoldenEye.
The biggest part of this,
legendary.
and here they show all the different games. Killer Instinct, Battletoads,
Battletoads, yes!
August 4th, this comes out. 30 hit games for $30. Only $30.
Isn't like Kazooie? What is it called? Banjo-Kazooie?
Banjo-Kazooie.
I never played that game. Matt roasted me for so long. I was like, I've never
I
played
only
it.
played it for a very short time.
The more of them you love.
It's true.
Every memory is a story.
$30 for 30 games.
And it's like your old school favorite games too.
I will do this just for Battletoads.
What game?
Battletoads. Come on, man. You've never heard that meme?
There are games that blew us
Battletoads
apart,
better than Contra.
and games that brought us together.
Edgy.
Whether you're reliving childhood memories
Is that Sonic the
or
Hedgehog?
discovering
Pure
classics
Instinct.
for the first time,
Sonic?
Pro-Am?
you'll
Yes.
see why the best stories will
Oh
never
man, I'm so
be
much
forgotten.
older than you guys. This is fantastic for me. Awful for you.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark. Played that.
Viva Pinata,
I'll
we
destroy you
back.
with Viva Pinata. We made it, boys.
We back.
That's Battletoads. One epic collection.
Conker's Bad Fur Day was absolutely incredible for the N64.
How do you reckon these games are gonna play though? Is it gonna be like
Just
playing
like
as
an
your childhood?
old emulator, I assume.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Will it remind you of your childhood?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, you know, this is one of those arcade throwback titles. Where it's just like, hey, we have
Let's do it.
30 decent games to loop in a $60 package. Oh, you know what? Let's cut that in half. $30. This will sell like
And
crazy.
Yeah.
Comes out August 4th, so $30, 30 retro games.
And
Could be pretty fun.
they announced that. Then they went into their new game that they were talking about, which is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we're working on old stuff, but here's the new stuff that's coming from Rare.
And
That
this
seemed to be the
surprised
big
a lot of
kind of
people.
thing of the whole conference when you think about it. It's like, hey, here's something old that's cool. Oh, here's something brand new and shiny.
And I think it's also, you know, legitimacy in the space. It's like, dude, we've been doing this for a decade. We've been doing this for
Right.
15 years.
Yeah.
Here's how far our graphics have come.
Sea of Thieves, described as an open world multiplayer game from Rare. Pirates
All that
in it.
matters is pirates.
Yeah.
Why would you not buy a game with pirates in it? Think about that.
You don't like to be stolen from.
Assassin's
go.
Creed meets coolness is basically what this game is.
You saying Assassin's Creed wasn't cool then?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. This game was cool. Pirates just
Yeah.
flying around.
One thing
Train them to talk.
to look at is I loved how I was worried it was going to be another type of RPG where it's just kind of PvE, you run around by yourself, complete quests and missions or stories. But this, no, you'll see gamer tags above the other players' heads immediately letting you know, hey, this is you playing with friends, playing with a party, trying to accomplish a common goal.
What the common goals are?
Well, up
Now
the
that's a
city.
different. That's a different. story.
Obviously, you got to kill that octopus.
There's the there. That's looting. What is it?
Laura for loots.
Laura loots.
Laura loots.
Apparently she loots.
All right, Laura.
I mean, that looks good.
Yeah.
Someone needs to feed the man on the left.
Yeah, he's looking a little skinny, huh? But hey, you know, this is back in the pirate days, man.
So I'm guessing this is your pirate ship with your friends. You can see the gamer
Pull the
tags.
ropes, guys!
Yeah. pulling on the different ropes, adjusting the sails, showing the different areas you can live in. But really, the interesting part would be how the loot system works. You can see a treasure chest there.
Zombies!
This would totally be you, Chris. You'd annoy us all when like you're walking the plank.
Yeah.
Stop stealing food, Chris. Stop it. Walk the plank. This is the coolest part of the whole thing, though. How this works dictates whether I'm buying this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if this is a cinematic and not actual gameplay, I'd be real upset.
Right?
Because one of the things people loved so much about the Assassin's Creed series was when they introduced the boat fights.
Yep.
And if they do this right, if this is one of the big crucial parts of Sea of Thieves, which I'm guessing it would be, maybe
Sea
you
of
destroy,
Thieves.
you destroy their boat, you go loot their bodies and loot their ship, get back in your boat. Maybe that was a base camp
Casually
you saw.
just
Yeah.
sail away.
That gameplay looks way too pretty for it to be anything more than a cutscene, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
That's-
You see
that's
people
what I mean.
running, like, I'm not running from one end of the ship to the other. I'm sitting on a cannon the whole time. Like,
Forget the sails.
even if we're going down, I'm going to go out swinging.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
What? See how this goes. Pirates. Ben likes pirates.
Why would you not like pirates? This is my big
Fairly passionate about it.
Fable
Pirates are great.
Legends. Fable series, known by many, made some big changes with their most recent game. What are we expecting to see in Fable Legends, Jack?
I think the biggest part of this, and I don't think we've heard about Fable Legends before, but it has to be the free-to-play aspect. We have the trailer here where you can take a look at really what the game is going to be all about. Earlier on when we saw it, it was more like you defeating dungeons set up by other players. I remember them immediately talking about getting the tablet involved. Here we have a trailer shown. It's cross-platform functionality between the Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs. Ben, have you been a fan of the Fable series? I've never really gotten into them.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird because it is a great franchise. And watching this trailer, everyone was like, what game is this? Like, what game is this? What game is this? And then finally, at the very end, it kind of clicked. It was like, oh, this is Fable.
And lately,
but it's free to play?
I guess they're
so
trying
it's like, did sales just bomb out so bad that you made it free for everyone and then try to link both of your communities together? Is that what I'm seeing here? Like,
I mean,
kinda.
Is there still hype around the Fable franchise?
I don't think so.
Like, right? You don't see people like, Fable, it's back! Like it used to see. That's one of my big issues.
Fable 3. Not the best in the Fable series, according to the community.
Yeah. I think that's more than safe to say.
But does this look that compelling to you? Does watching this make you want to play this game?
More than the pirate game.
Really?
It's
I would favor the pirate game over this every single time.
It's free to play, so I can't immediately be too.
Yo!
Hungry for what they don't have. Obsessed with their
Alright, I don't really like fighting trees that much, but I will if you force me.
But this is not their story.
Interessante.
Interessante. Yeah, she looks like some weird wicked witch boss. Fable Legends, this is the big moment. Free to play. We'll see.
That's how I feel about it.
Man.
It's not one that I'm like, here we go, I'm so hyped.
Man.
I'm so excited for Fable.
Yeah. Sorry. And that must suck to be someone who worked on the game. And like, if you're hearing my opinion right now, I apologize. But there's nothing about that gets me pumped.
And this was the interesting part about the whole conference, right? We get to this point in the conference, I'm watching Fable, I'm like, oh, well, probably GG at this point. And I think, you know, what can Microsoft really do? It's kind of, we kind of peaked, and now all of a sudden the conference is going a little bit downhill. But then, boom.
They bring it right back.
Come out and show you one of the coolest things I think you're ever going to see.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break before we get into it. But on the other side, we're going deep with Microsoft's closing to the press conference, some of the best news you're probably going to hear all day long.